I didn't go to prom because they all laughed at me. 10 years later, I returned as the guest of honor. I didn't go to prom, not because I didn't want to. I dreamed about it. The dress, the lights, the slow dance. But dreams don't mean much when you're the joke of the senior class. They called me Trashy Tracy because I wore thrift store clothes, because I lived in a trailer park, because my mom worked the night shift at the diner, and my dad was, well, gone. Every morning, I stepped onto the bus with my second-hand backpack and crooked bangs, and they'd be waiting. Madison, Emily, Claire, the holy trinity of shiny hair and daddy's money. They'd fake smile and say, "Cute shoes, Tracy. Which dumpster did you find them in?" And the whole bus would laugh. Even the driver smirked once. But nothing hit harder than prom season. Posters everywhere, enchanted night. Glitter pens, sign-up sheets, pastel flyers taped to every wall. And then the whispers. Who do you think Tracy will go with? Maybe her cousin. No, her dog. That's more her type. I tried to act like I didn't care, like I was above it. But one afternoon, walking home, I saw a group of them outside Claire's house, trying on dresses in front of the window, twirling, laughing, looking like everything I wasn't. I ran home and cried into my pillow until my face hurt. That night, Mom found me on the floor of our tiny living room. "What happened, baby?" I shook my head. "I'm not going." She didn't ask what. She just nodded, held me, and whispered, "One day, they'll wish they'd treated you different. I promise." I didn't believe her. Instead, I spent prom night on our sagging couch, eating ice cream out of the tub, and pretending the sound of car engines outside wasn't all the other girls being picked up in limos. I graduated with no friends, no boyfriend, and no idea who I was outside of what they'd told me to be. Nothing. So I left. I packed my life into one suitcase and moved 3 states away with just enough savings to pay rent and eat canned soup. But here's the thing about starting from nothing. You learn to build. I got a job at a coffee shop, then another at night. Took online classes. Watched TED Talks while folding laundry. Read books like my life depended on it, because it did. I worked and I glowed. By 23, I'd saved enough to launch a tiny makeup brand out of my apartment. Just a few lip glosses in old mason jars. I sold them on Etsy. People liked the colors, the names, the story. At 25, I went viral on TikTok for a before and after transformation video. Caption: From Trashy Tracy to CEO. The comments poured in. "This gives me hope. Who's laughing now? Your glow up is my religion." By 27, I had a full team, a warehouse, an LLC, and 2.3 million followers. That's when the email came in. Subject line: Invitation to speak. Ridgeway High 10-year reunion. From Madison Walker. Yes, that Madison. "Hi, Tracy. I'm organizing our 10-year reunion, and we thought it would be amazing if you'd come as our guest speaker. Your story is just so inspiring." She even added a heart emoji. I stared at the screen for a full minute. Me? The girl they made fun of for wearing hand-me-down jeans. The joke. The punching bag. They wanted me back. As the guest of honor. I didn't say yes right away. I reread Madison's email 3 times, half expecting it to self-destruct or reveal itself as some cruel prank. But no, it was real. Her signature at the bottom said, "Madison Walker, Events Chair, Ridgeway High Alumni Committee." I checked her LinkedIn out of curiosity. Still in Ridgeway. Real estate? Married. Baby on the way. Her smile was the same. Perfect, practiced. Like she knew people were watching. And apparently, they were. My social media had blown up in the past year. I'd been featured in Cosmo, done interviews with influencers, even launched a charity initiative for young girls from low-income homes. I was becoming someone people looked up to. Now, the same girls who used to whisper behind my back wanted me to give an inspirational speech at our high school reunion. I thought about deleting the email, but instead, I answered, "Hi, Madison. Thanks so much for the invite. I'd be honored to attend." She replied in minutes, "Yay, we're so excited." Also, fun surprise, we're doing a special Enchanted Night theme again, a throwback to our prom. Of course they were. She attached the event flyer, same font, same pastel tones, same god-awful glitter border. I laughed, out loud, alone in my office. Some things never change, but I had. The night of the reunion, I pulled up in a sleek black car with tinted windows and a driver. Not to show off, just because I could. I wore a floor-length, off-shoulder black velvet gown that hugged me in all the right places. Hair slicked back, red lips, diamond studs. No flashy logos, no bright colors, just confidence. The kind money can't buy, the kind built from the ground up. As I stepped into the old gymnasium, it hit me. Same basketball lines on the floor, same ugly banners, but everything felt smaller. People turned, and the room froze. Claire dropped her drink. Someone gasped. A guy in the back literally said, "Holy shit." I smiled politely, like I didn't hear. Madison rushed over, practically skipping in heels she clearly hadn't worn in a while. "Tracy, oh my God, you look amazing, like total model vibes." I just nodded. "Thanks. You look exactly the same." Her smile faltered for a second. She gestured toward the stage. "We'll have you speak in like 30 minutes? Cool?" "Perfect." I made my way to the punch table. Claire and Emily stood nearby, whispering. I could hear them. They weren't even subtle. "Is that actually her?" "No way. She used to have braces and that gross haircut." "She's hot now." I turned and smiled. "Hi, Claire. Emily?" They blinked. Claire tried to recover. "Wow, you've changed." I sipped my drink. "Yeah, growth tends to do that." Then I walked away. When it was time for the speech, Madison tapped the mic like it was still 2013. "Okay, everyone. We have a very special guest tonight. Someone whose journey has inspired thousands and started right here, in this very gym. Please give it up for Tracy Miller." Scattered applause. I stepped up, heels clicking against the wood. Took a breath. Looked out at the faces that once made me feel so small. And I began. "Hi." I began, gripping the sides of the podium lightly. "My name is Tracy Miller. Some of you might not recognize me. And that's okay. I barely recognize myself either." Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. "I graduated with you all 10 years ago. I wasn't class president. I wasn't voted most likely to succeed. In fact, if I remember correctly, I wasn't voted anything." A few people shifted in their seats. "I didn't go to prom. I told everyone it was because I was sick. Truth is, I just didn't want to be laughed at in heels." A beat of silence. And it's funny, standing here now in this same gym 10 years later, because back then, I thought this place defined me. The rumors, the nicknames, the sideways glances. I wore all of it like a second skin. I believed it when they said I wasn't enough. I saw Claire looking down at her drink. Madison forced a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. But something happened when I left. The silence got louder. And then it turned into focus, into work, into healing, into a girl learning who she was without anyone telling her she was trash. I looked directly at Madison then. I built something I'm proud of, not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove myself right. There was a pause. You could hear a pin drop. Then I smiled. So if you're sitting here tonight feeling like your life didn't pan out how you thought it would, good. That means you still have time. You still have chapters left. Rewrite the story, and maybe in 10 years, you'll be standing up here too. Applause. Real, honest, echoing applause. I stepped down from the stage, and instantly, a girl I barely remembered hugged me. "Thank you," she whispered. "That meant a lot." Madison walked up a few minutes later, trying hard to keep her tone breezy. "You really? Wow, you should do TED Talks or something." I smiled. "I have. Twice." Her face twitched. "Well, this was fun. So glad you came." "Me too," I said. "Closure's a beautiful thing." Later that night, I sat in the back seat of my car, heels off, makeup smudging just a little. I looked at the school through the tinted window and exhaled. 10 years ago, I left Ridgeway High with a cracked heart and a suitcase full of shame. Tonight, I left with my head high and nothing left to prove. Somewhere between those two nights, I found myself, and I'm never losing her again.